compliment of the season.
I wish you the same and the best.
Great to see you again, sir.
Happy New Year.
I wish you the same, sir.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. And you?
I'm good.
Well done, sir. So, sir, you get one or two issues when it be say I want make you help us discuss. I believe say through this very interview, a lot of people will still learn from me, sir. Being that you are this issue is issue that concerns house in
Okay.
this place, in this Italy, buying house and being a house owner in this very place, of which I know that you are one of the landlord in this Italy. And there is this kind of issue or mindset when the Nigerians get towards this very buying of house in this very Italy. Say that it is very difficult for one to put in to buy a house here, and at the end, that house will eventually become their own, of which over the time they have seen a lot of old Nigerians that came here and they put in into buying of house, and at the end they see those house being collected from them by the government of this land. I don't know. Do you really have any idea what will make such issues to happen or take place? What would have
Okay.
caused such incidents? Is it that it's not possible for one to really acquire property here and eventually become the owner of those properties, or these things we are hearing, they are just scam?
First of all, I would want to thank you
Welcome, sir.
for coming and choosing me to be somebody who defeat that can also speak to this part of our life or challenges that we have in with our in diaspora.
Yes, sir.
We are just taking Italy for a case study.
Yes, sir.
So maybe what happens here also happens in some other nations.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be very specific to your question about what will lead to, or how is it that it's not possible or it's difficult
Yeah.
for somebody, a foreigner,
Yeah.
to buy a house and eventually at the end own the house as a
Yes.
landlord.
Yes.
Well, to start with, many things are involved
Okay.
that can make it not that can make it to happen in that way.
Okay.
But also, it's not true that foreigner cannot eventually become a landlord
In this place.
in this place.
Okay.
So just to go straight to this the discussion, actually, I'm a high witness to many, if not up to six, that I know personally. High
Okay.
witness to those
Which
that bought
were
house here
okay.
and they lost it to the banks, not to the government.
Okay.
And so now, remember, buying a house is except those that were able to do it by cash.
Okay.
Many of us, I, for example, went through mortgage.
Okay.
So now, on a mortgage contract, you have to pay.
All right.
As soon as you secure the loan, you look for the property. After you having the property on your name,
Mm-hmm.
that you have to be paying monthly.
Okay.
And that will based on the kind of job also you do that can make you secure such loan from a bank. As
Okay.
me and you know, that bank, they are business people.
All right.
They don't have money just to throw away or to throw around. If they are giving you mortgage, they must have seen that you are able to pay
Oh, yeah.
before they will give you a mortgage.
Okay.
So expecting you to keep to your own part of the bargain.
Okay.
Now, sadly, in case of the Nigerians here, let me speak to Nigerians, which I'm part of the Nigerians here in Italy.
Okay.
So a lot of us still came with this mentality, or I can say with this wickedness, cruel wickedness,
All right.
greedy,
Okay.
that I, for example, I came through the land,
Okay.
passed through the Mediterranean Sea.
Okay.
So there are some that came in through
The air.
air. Now, on however you came is not important, but we all left for greener pasture because there are things we are lacking in our place that make us to travel out and to come and seek for those things wherever we find ourselves,
Yeah. Yeah.
scatter abroad.
You are right.
Now, a lot of people came with a different mentality, seeing every opportunity to extract or to steal or to rob.
Okay.
Why did I say so? Now I know I grew up to I was up to about 33 years old when I left Nigeria. I was
Okay.
already working.
Okay.
So based on what I was doing then, if it was be in this country, I can secure a loan and buy a house.
Okay.
But such thing was not existing
In
in
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Now you finding yourself in a nation where because law works for everybody, irrespective of who you are, whether you are white or you are black,
All right.
equal law to everybody. Now you were able through the same law secure a loan,
Okay.
you refuse to pay. You understand me?
So there's something of which I'm not understanding here to the just for people who are watching us to get comprehensive understanding about this. How was it that they were unable to pay? Because I believe that when you want to take a loan here, the bank will give you a loan for the house, of which they will pay. And at the end, they will be looking up to you for maybe your salaries, deduction, and all that. How come that these people were unable to pay back those loans that they took?
Okay, thank you, sir. I will speak to two aspects of it.
Okay.
One, I will say 2% of the people that bought house here in Italy, 2%
Mm-hmm.
are those that maybe because of challenges of life
Mm-hmm.
or hard luck makes them to lose this house to bank.
Okay.
Why do I say so? 2%, even if it's if not even less than 2%. For example, that those that because of their age, because most of us didn't declare our real age.
Okay.
So because age was then telling on some of them, they could not carry on because they could not carry on with the job they were doing.
Okay.
And because of the mortgage and the longevity of the spread of how you have to pay, they
Okay.
could not continue
Mm, mm.
because of illness, maybe
Okay.
sickness or expected
Unforeseen.
unforeseen situation,
Mm.
and particularly also loss of job.
Okay.
So let's say less than 2% fall into those
Category.
category that could
Okay.
not carry on.
Okay.
But though if bank collect the house forcefully from them, it's also their fault because they also have a miss another miss you can use by not going through that forceful loss of the house,
Okay.
which can be legal.
Okay.
For example, you lost a job. Now you can go to bank if you are under a mortgage. That please, the job I have lost the job.
Okay.
Now, please suspend this payment pending when I secure another job.
Which it is possible.
Very, very legal and possible.
Okay.
Those criteria are there in the
Okay.
writing up of the contract.
Okay.
So now, when you now go to bank, bank will say this is okay, yeah, because you don't have a job, you cannot continue to pay monthly. Then you will not be indebted by monthly rate. They will now block the
Like a
payment
form
for
of
6 months.
suspension.
Suspension of mortgage. We call it mortgage here
Okay.
where I reside.
Okay.
We call it mutual, but it's normally mutual mortgage is the same thing.
Okay.
Now they will suspend it for the period of 6 months so that you can go and look for another job. Then when you secure a job, you can come back and reactivate
The
the mortgage
mortgage.
and
Okay.
start paying. Now, but if peradventure you are unable to secure after the 6 months, it will elapse. Now you still have another one more chance by say, okay, since I could not secure a job, please, okay, you bank now you put this house for sale, or you also that inside can put it for sale. Then you
Okay.
now swap the mortgage with another person who is interested to buy
The
the house.
house.
So for that period, if you are lucky, you find somebody that bought that house that time. Now maybe because maybe you have stayed in that house, let's say 2, 3, 4 years, you have paid mortgage for that long. You must also still get some fraction of some money back
To yourself.
that to yourself.
Which is there is no
No
loss.
loss, and then you are not
Okay.
owing bank.
Mm, mm.
So you will not be counted among those that did not pay mortgage.
Mm.
It was situation that caused
That's
that
that
situation
makes
for
it to
that makes
happen
it to
that
happen
way.
that way.
Okay.
So when you now saw whoever bought the house, buy the house, then can swap the mortgage,
Okay.
and they will not take care and begin to pay.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you will be that house. You have to quit that house. But with what you whatever that got back to you from what you have invested, you can use to go and now rent a house, which we don't pray for.
Okay.
Nobody wants such thing to happen.
Okay.
So that's those under that two
Percent.
percent that I said, if not less than. But
Okay.
there's this majority of our people that lost their houses.
Okay.
I put them that it was due to wickedness and greed.
Okay. Can we just
Now,
expatiate
especially
on
on
that?
that. Now, securing a loan, they give you a loan, you bought the house. Some will live in that house and not even pay up to 5 months.
Really?
They will not even pay up to 5 months. They will be in that house, also rent rooms out to other people. That with what they get in those they rent, give rent to, it's even
Mm.
enough to pay the mortgage, and they will still be inside. They will not pay. They will
Mm.
gather the money and send it to Africa
Mm.
and begin to build a skyscraper that they will not even stay for a month whenever they visit.
Mm.
So this majority of them that lost it, this is how they lost the house.
Mm.
They don't pay. That there are also some. If you buy like this is my house now, I'm in a place where we are not under administrator. But there are some building here in Italy. It is being controlled by an administrator of the compound,
Okay.
what they call here what do they call them here? Those that like a caretaker of the house. So
Okay.
now there are some that also lost their own due to administrative reasons.
Okay.
Maybe you are in a palazzo in a big compound where there are more than 200 or 100 plus apartments.
Mm. Mm.
Now, if anything happens in that compound, the whole tenant or the whole landlords in that
Owners
owners
of
of
the
those
houses.
houses will have to come together and do renovation
Mm.
and make repairs of whatsoever that happens. And that those things you have to do, you are not doing it with cash.
Mm.
You are doing it with also securing a mutual a loan, a
Okay.
mortgage from
Okay.
your bank. It might be very small, 5,000, 10,000, depends on
The
the situation,
damage
the
and
damage that happens.
okay.
Then there are some that they could not also meet up. Why? Because they were not paid the bank, so bank will not also give them
Those kind of
that kind of
loan to
loan
do all
to
those
join the
maintenance.
other neighbor. They those people will not write to the bank, so the bank will not take the house from them because you cannot default in such case. You have to join the others to do
Mm.
that.
Mm. Mm. Okay, sir. Now I want us to really, because this is something that I've been in the public speaks for so long now, that a lot of Nigerians, the reason why they don't have this kind of mindset of maybe getting an apartment here in Italy is because of what they've seen being on the ground over the years. That a lot of our aging people here that came before us purchased houses, and at the end they eventually lost it to the government. And now you are telling me that it wasn't to the government, it was to the bank. Okay, now, and you equally make mention of one thing, that is, it was also due to the wickedness of our people or greed of our people. And due to my findings, I equally find out that even during that very time, I don't know, I might be not right to this. I want you to clarify the public that a lot of them at that very time collected some amount of money from the bank, like up to 100 and something thousand euro and all that. And instead of them using it to pay for that house or apartment, they would rather take it to Africa to go and build houses or do whatever they wishes to do, abandoning the project or for the reason why they collected that loan. It was really such. Is there any time that such a thing happened, or it was just a kind of rumor?
Okay. Now there are two different ways you secure money from bank here.
Okay.
One is if you secure to buy a building that which is a very huge sum.
Okay.
And there are the one they call prestito. That is just you are borrowing a loan,
Okay.
not but not that heavy. Maybe little amount from 5,000, even from 3,000 to 15, 20,000.
Okay.
That some even during the summer holiday, most
Mm-hmm.
Italians also go to borrow little amount for just to go on holiday on
Okay, just
vacation.
a vacation.
So so to go on vacation. So also most of us will still go and do such things in this country. But
Okay.
when we do it, some people get that just to travel to get a land to start raising a building.
Okay.
But there had never been anybody that I know
Okay.
that bank give loan of to
Okay.
buy a house, which is from 90, 80, depends on the amount that
Mm.
took all to
Okay.
Nigeria to because before bank give you loan, they don't give you loan in cash.
Okay.
Even the money, you don't even see the money. What you see is just document paper.
Okay. Okay.
Now the only thing that I know that was happening then is maybe like this mine, I collected 240,000
Oh my.
euro.
Okay.
Now this house then worth 210,000.
Okay.
So now I was having an advance 30,000 left.
Okay.
Now, in that case, some people, because of the car house they also go for.
Okay.
So some may because of they want to get something in reserve, they'll go for a building that is old or building that costs less than more less than what they collected
Okay.
that bank allocated to them.
Okay.
Or some go far from the city where they can get
Cheaper.
cheaper house
Okay.
because they already have the mind to have something
You
in
reserve.
reserve. And
Okay.
so these are those that also fall in that category that we are able to find something left. And
Okay.
but they must buy her because you must look for the property. Then they now tell you the rate of that property before the bank will grant your loan.
Okay.
Then we were lucky because we secured a loan at 100%. We didn't drop any. I didn't even drop one kobo.
Okay. That is the total
Everything that goes for the
expenses
expenses,
was
both the one you use
secure
for
to the
the
bank.
changing of ownership and all the controls that has to happen, everything,
Mm.
both the agent fee and every
Mm.
other thing, it was the bank that took care of them.
Everything.
Though I was having then 21,000 in my account, that was why they see that maybe I'll be able to pay because my salary was entering the same account. So I
Account.
secured my loan through the same bank where my salary comes from.
Okay.
So not that I didn't touch my money that was in the account. They funded everything. Now when I bought there, then actually I requested for 220.
Okay.
That was what they initially gave. I'm using myself for example.
Okay.
Now when they now saw that what I was getting and the one I was interested in that I like among the houses I went to, that it was the one that cost 210. They now
This
said
one is 210,000
10,000
euro now.
euro. They
Okay.
now said that 10,000 left is not enough for me to run every other expenses.
Mm.
So it was inside that bank instantly before we signed the contract
Mm.
that they now raised another 20,000 in addition. So
Mm.
I can cover the
Expenses.
expenses. So every other thing that I put in place as I enter and to take away some things that was here and to make it comfortable for me was my personal
Mm.
money.
Mm.
But there are some that were lucky. They found a house that they will have about 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 left.
Mm.
And they don't even care putting anything in place. They just move in like that because they
Mm.
want to keep that money for other reasons.
Mm. Mm.
But that there's somebody due to a question that somebody that bank gave loan maybe did not buy a house and told the money. No, it doesn't happen
Okay.
in this country.
Okay, sir. Another thing, because in the process of you trying to explain to us, you equally make mention of something that after securing an agreement with the bank on how to repay those loan back, majority of our people eventually stop meeting up to those agreements which they had with the bank. Okay, now, how was it possible for these people to bridge those contracts? Because I equally believe that before you go into contract with the bank, it should be through the channels of which you receive your salaries,
Yeah.
which is your account that is connected with your salaries.
Yeah.
Of which to say, in another word, that when your salary is coming, the bank have the right to deduct their money, their percentage
Yeah.
from those salaries. So how were these people able to fast track those processes by
Okay.
blocking those banks not to be able to collect their percentage when their salary arrives?
Thank you, sir. That was a very clever one. Of a truth, it was supposed to look like that or goes that way.
Okay.
But unfortunately, we Nigerians, we are very smart, to be honest. We
Okay.
are very, very smart. And actually, we would have dominated this nation if we were right-minded.
Okay.
If we wanted to actually live like the owners of this nation are living. Because
Okay.
Italians, they are very afraid of their law. They don't want to break the law a little.
Okay.
So they go down and make sure they obey every bit of their law. It's only those, you see few things that happen, those are those we call delinquente.
Okay.
So those are, we call them street boys, and that grow outside their a family. So now back to this your question is that it's supposed to have been in that manner. But what happened was, then I was very fortunate I was working.
Okay.
My wife also was working.
Okay.
Now it was only maybe 5% of all the total of people that bought house here in Rome that were really working on salary.
Okay.
A lot of those people that own that bought house even before I did were those that were on self-employed,
Okay. Okay.
autonomous.
Okay. So
So
it wasn't just
it was
a
it
fixed job with
no,
the company or with
with
the
the company they
country.
were they
Okay.
were self-employed,
Okay.
and the law then was that if so long you have a Reddit to bring that can
Okay.
show the amount you earn
Okay.
yearly.
Okay.
So with that, you also can convince the bank that you can pay. So the
Okay.
bank does not go far to see how is that business doing, whether the business is even existing at all.
Okay.
So because we as Nigeria, we have our own way of going around things and to make things look like it is real. If one of those documents were false, were just forged and
Presented.
presented, and some went to go and do instant increase of their Reddit.
Okay.
Not that they really have those company registered, but that company is not doing anything anywhere.
There was no
Uh,
forthcoming
Income from
income. Okay.
anywhere, but just so long here you just declare this is what you earn. The government is not interested in how you earned it. What they are interested in here is you pay the charges that goes with the tax.
Okay.
They don't even care to know if the business you declare if it is existing
Or not.
anywhere.
Okay.
So that was why they were able to go in that way with the contract.
Okay, now, sir, in as much as those things have happened in the past, now, is it still possible, as we speak right now, for people who are self-employed to be able to go into this kind of agreement with the bank based on what have happened in the past?
Presently, it is even those that work now. It is very difficult now because they don't trust Nigerians anymore.
Just because of the past record.
Past record. When you go to banks now, everybody that have disobeyed the contract that has failed in the all this contract, majority of them are Nigerians. So I now by God's grace, this is my 22nd year in this nation, this Italy. Before I came, there were people that already have 10, 15, 20 years resident here in Italy. Now, if they have comport themselves and obey the rules and the laws of this country, most of them would have been not just one building, 2 or 3 houses as landlord and landladies. Because of this our devilish mindset. I call it evil mindset.
Mm. And those
Wickedness
opportunities
of the
were
highest level.
there.
Now, let's reason it, me and you, dear brother. Who is not the loser? Bank does not lose one dime. They are always at an advantage. A house is those that pay me more is that those that put their house in rent. That what they are getting from that rent is enough to pay the mortgage and the house still remains yours.
Mm. Because there, which is to say, there was no any way that those houses were disadvantaged to those
No,
people.
never. Now, as God will have it, there are some people also that have their building here now. They are no longer in this country and they are still paying the mortgage. In the same way that they have rent in the houses.
Mm.
They are still holding the house. Where there are some husband and wife, they are still here now. They are now in rent, leave their own house and go to rent.
Mm.
See, this is how we find ourselves here. Now, this mindset that tomorrow I will leave, tomorrow I will go next tomorrow. Where are you going to Nigeria? This Nigeria of today. Where?
Okay, sir. Now, in general, to the conclusion of this very discussion now, what is now the present disadvantage that those things that our past people or old fathers and mothers, the chaos, I will call it a chaos, that they created for the present generation here in Italy now. What disadvantage are those things causing to us today that you can know or you know of?
There's no a lot. First of all, now they don't longer trust us. So even getting a rent, not buying now is difficult for
Mm,
incoming
Nigerians.
Nigerians. So now, in fact, now the prayer, those that have their present house where they live now, their prayer now, I'm telling you, I heard this from a brother, that their prayer now is not even for them, that those that already have their own house, that landlord will not come up one day and said he want to sell the house, that they should quit. But when they quit, they don't see the hope of getting another house.
Yes,
This
presently.
is that the fear because of what our people have done.
Mm,
Two, those all hope is not lost though. There are some that is still working. Now we secure a loan 100%, but now it's no longer obtainable.
mm,
You have to now bring some percentage.
okay.
That okay, you have 30%, they should give you 70%, or
Mm,
you have 50%, they should put 50%. Then when you are doing that in your documentation also, you have to involve your director of work,
mm.
and the director must certify and sign
That indeed you are
that you are
working.
working, and it's going to give you that job that long to cover your mortgage. Where do you
Within the
find that?
period that you are going to
Pay?
pay that mortgage. And if it is not so, there
They
is
will
no
they will, they will, they
possibility
will
of,
not they will not they will not accept it.
which is there is a lot of scrutinies now.
Now, then for those that have an autonomous, which is self-employed, no go area. You have to show your office or your shop what you are getting monthly, and you also have to raise some percentage, and they will give you some percentage.
Mm, this is all what the our crooks way have cost us the
Yeah,
present day.
this was also what we get at a platter of gold. One day you just come and become a landlord. And there's one part also that I forgot to touch. There are some pastors. I don't want to go there.
Sir, it's everything needs to be said
So even
because
some pastors,
it doesn't really matter whoever it may concern. If you are a man of
the most
God and
painful part of it,
you fails to, I think if you are a man of God, you should be the first person to make sure that the laws of the land is be respected. You understand? Even the Bible said we should do as much as possible to respect the laws of the land. You understand me? So I believe if there be anything of which you know in regards to that aspect, you should be able to share with the public so that people will be educated and also learn from the past mistakes, because the way out now is what we are looking for. You understand? If we should shield some aspect of it and let some out, I believe we are still in the dark.
There's one aspect also that I was aware of. Happens to somebody who happened to be close to me,
Okay.
and I even joined him in going to try to see how we can revive or um, secure the house back when they were back taking the house. When you know, ignorance is not an excuse
To the law.
to the law.
Okay.
That he didn't know that he thought that as the bank gave him the loan, and as he started paying the first rata, which is the first month,
Okay.
that they are going to be subtracting everything he's paying
Okay.
from the mortgage he secured.
Okay.
He was not having the mind that that mortgage, there's a tax that the government would collect.
Okay.
The community, as where that house is being located, will collect.
Okay.
The one also the security for the house, which is the insurance,
Okay.
we collect.
Okay.
So he thought that as he just paying, then he was paying 1,002, and the man secured 180,000.
As
So
a loan.
so as he was paying, he started paying. Initially, he was paying. So getting to the fourth year, he went to bank and to see how much was left. Maybe he make calculation in his house.
That maybe it's almost
It's
finishing.
almost done, or is and you have the mortgage for 30 years.
Hmm.
You are just entering the fourth year. He went to go and see because he was paying 1,000, so he was
Hmm.
subtract subtracting the 1,2 he was paying. So when he gets to bank, they now said, now you just started paying the real loan you borrowed. Everything you have paid before was just tax and tax and tax. He got annoyed.
Wow.
When he got home, he stopped paying.
But this would have been something of which the information which he would have verified from the beginning.
From the beginning. Now you see, bounce back to wickedness. The one was okay, I'm not more interested. Come and carry. Then you will be on the safe side.
Hmm.
You will not be owing the bank. Then your document will still be valid, because those that lost their house because of they were unable to keep to the titles, the promises, and the contract on the motor, their document cannot borrow €1 from any bank.
It's as worse as
It has,
that.
you cannot, they cannot give them €100 as a loan.
Just a form of their document is
It's been
in
tagged.
red
Yeah, it's on
list.
a red list.
Mm.
They cannot go for any mortgage anywhere. Those that were forcefully thrown out of the house, that lost it to due to their own doing. But those that were able to follow it legally can still go if they have the opportunity.
Mm.
Like those that tell now I can no longer go ahead, carry your property. Then you are not owing them, they are not owing you.
Mm. Okay, now you're talking about this very man of God that you said that at the end they find out that it wasn't as he desired it to be, and he later got annoyed and forsook everything. So what now eventually happened? Because I believe when you started, you said there are two other ways of which either you can recover your money by
Yeah,
telling the bank to, okay, maybe I can't meet up to the payments, you can resell the property
yeah,
and let me have my share of which I
yeah.
have already paid. Why didn't it go? Was there nobody to inform him the right procedures to go or
No,
what?
no, sir. He even have stopped before letting me know.
Hmm.
He have stopped paying. It was when they were not sending letters upon letters. When it has passed a month, 2 months, 3 months, fourth month, entering the 6th month, the letter will not coming and coming
As a sign of
as
warning.
a sign of warning that it has default. And when you default, initially, if they are collecting money direct from your account, when you default, they will not stop it. They will not be collecting money again from your account because after there's nothing in that account. So you are now indebted. It's very risky then. So anybody that can able to wake it back have to go into the bank to pay to the motor account. After some time they will lift the band. So when it was the 6th, I think the 6th month, he now told me that we were just discussing. I said that my own motor has reduced drastically. Then when there was shaking in the whole world financially, so the thing now dropped. I was paying 1,004. It now dropped to 1,000. Later it dropped to 800 because he was not patient enough. He stopped paying. Within a cycle of 1 year, the shaking happened to the whole world that the mortgage rate now dropped. He now said, he said, I have stopped paying. I said, why? He was now narrating why he stopped paying.
When it initially happened, he never told anybody.
He did anybody. He was just collecting the rent. He was not living in the house. It was church that was paying in his own rent.
Oh, one thing that, which is to say, not that he wasn't having the money to pay.
No. They were
The house was
being rented out.
He was collecting the money.
Yes, he was in a house where church pay his own rent
as a pastor.
as a pastor.
It's truly wickedness. When you started, you said it was out of wickedness that all those things happen. This is a clear act of wickedness. So, for you to have had the opportunity, not that there was no avenue for you to get that money. You were having every opportunity to have that money to pay, even beyond.
Even change on top. I noticed that those that were living in that house, and the house was very massive, very big house. And it was even in a very busy place where the house was a hot cake. Everybody was, in fact, we were part of those that were envy where he got the house from. Center of town. So the day they throw him out they throw the old boys there out. We were there also. The pastor I know. I don't want to mention him. You also know him.
So today now, do you still have this kind of relationship with him or connection to know his whereabouts and his
it's still in town. It's still in town. It's still in town.
He
has gone through a lot also. See, there are ways. See, the black general, we thought that God is only God for the black. It's not God also for the white. So we misbehave. So there are ways you can never eat your cake and have it. So he's learning his lesson in his own area. I pray that God also help.
Now, by this very time, I believe that had it be that he followed up, would have been a landlord of his own and having rest in his own house.
No, it would have still been on the raise.
Although it would. Now I don't know whether he has secured another one or is in rent.
It's in rent. It's in rent. In fact, when you speak of rent, not just a full rent. It's not in a room with his children and his wife.
A room apartment
in another person's apartment.
Renting a room in another person's apartment.
That was supposed to be
sharing kitchen, bedroom with another family.
Yeah, and he's still here in Italy.
And he has family.
Yes, I have 3 children with his wife. He's still here in Italy, in Rome. You see how the popular saying in our language that adumadu body. Is that not how they used to say it? Adumadu body. For those that understand that adage also, this is what is happening, and we are not finding it funny here. A lot of young boys that just came in, they are lamenting. They have make this nation unbearable for people to decide, which was supposed to be a nation that accommodates the most easiest nation where you can start life easily
Mm,
in Europe. The most easiest. Fine, everything may not be perfect, but it's the most easiest. You can come to this nation today and start work today if you are not lazy.
mm.
Start hustling, find how to survive because they are kind. They have their issues, they have their problems, yes, but they are also kind.
They are still very hospitable. All right, sir. Now, in the general terms, now, what is your advice to the people that will come across this video in regards to this heart-wrenching issues that happens and also brought us all Nigerians to this very point that we find ourselves in regards to owning an apartment in this very place?
Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah, my advice is very simple. We can rewrite the story.
Okay,
We can. It is very possible that we begin to change the narrative
okay.
by obeying the laws of the land.
Mm,
Not only on securing property, that no, even paying your ticket to
mm,
enter a bus.
mm,
Then those that are still living in rent, make sure you obey and pay your rentage the way you're supposed to pay it.
mm,
Don't have a demand that you want to live here. You collect what they call a strato. You that's a there's a paper they give
mm,
to those that are unable to pay their rent, that they are thrown out of the house. The carabinieri will give them a paper. They call it a strato.
mm,
Then when they rent another house, they will deliberately not pay, that they
mm.
can also secure another strato.
Okay, what is that extractor
It's
for?
like a paper that certifies that you are unable to pay rent. You are not capable. You are not. How do I say it? You are unable to meet up to your expenses.
Okay, so if you are unable to meet up to expenses, no to the government, so why are you seeking for a house? Why are you
So
looking for a house?
no, is it that they are unable?
I know, okay, they just
They
secured
are
those
just doing it
papers.
because they want to gather that paper so they can go to community
Oh,
and ask for a community house.
oh, there is a benefit attached to those
Yes, they will
papers.
now go. So they will
Okay.
now, who did not have first one, have the second one, now have the third one. That will not, so these people, they are poor, they cannot. So they will now begin to look for a community house.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I also know
Eh,
those that can build a whole, that can buy a whole street in this room, a whole full street with what they have made in this country, that went through that same process just to secure an apartment from a community house, and you
mm,
become a handicap. So I don't want to go to that area. So that's that topic of its own. So now what I said we can change it. That let's begin to obey the law of the land. Then if you are happy, if you have a job you are doing, it's not there's no big amount that is too big to or it's too small to save. Begin to save now because the story has changed. Begin to save something from your salary. Don't go and think that you can go and do some dubious business and you raise fund,
mm,
thinking that you can not tell bank that you have some percentage, because they are going to scrutinize that source. Where do you get the money from? So
mm,
that one will not land you in problem.
mm,
They might not come that same day you do it.
mm,
You may have secured the house. When the whether the finance, the force of the land now come and say, this so amount, where did you get it from? Because all you earn throughout the year does not quantify this amount. We know your expenses, we know your
mm,
rent, we know your
mm,
bills and
mm,
all,
mm.
so that you will not find yourself in a very tight corner. But you can begin to save towards raising fund. You can gonna go to bank and ask for some percentage to add, and you secure a house, and it is very beneficial
Mm, mm.
to us. So I pray that God also help us.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so
Thank
much
you, sir.
for this time, sir. I really appreciate
God bless you,
this
sir.
very, I believe a lot of people will really learn from this very
Thank you,
one.
thank you,
God
thank you.
bless you,
I
sir. God
appreciate
bless.